Hey guys, it's Olivia here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I have a book haul to show you guys. I have 12 new books here which were all either gifted to me or acquired in different ways, and I can't wait to show you what these books are. So first of all, I won a hardback copy of The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon from Becky's blog. So I was really thrilled to win this because this is quite a popular book lately and I'm just so excited to read it. It is a high fantasy that is huge, like this could knock somebody out, and it follows this world which is divided and there's a queendom without an heir and an old enemy is stirring. I haven't read much more than that of the synopsis because I don't think I really want to know, but what made me really interested in reading this one is how much Ashleigh from A Frolic Through Fiction really loved it, the fact that dragons are involved as you can see from the cover, and also the fact that it's a queendom instead of a kingdom, because we need some feminism, we need some more woman rulers and just a woman-based epic fantasy. Yes, please. Then I was kindly sent 2 books for review by Stripes Books, and the first of them are My So-Called Bollywood Life by Nisha Sharma and also Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribe. So I'll show you the finished covers on screen somewhere while I talk about these books. So the first one is My So-Called Bollywood Life by Nisha Sharma, and I've already started to read this one. It is a young adult contemporary which follows this Indian protagonist, and she has always loved Bollywood movies and she wants her life to be just like one, to fall in love with her boyfriend and get married and all of this and go to film school with him. However, when he kind of cheats on her and they break up and then he decides he's going to a different university, she's finding out that life is not like it is in the Bollywood movies, and she meets someone who says that she needs to take control of her own destiny, and this is her doing just that. I'm only 30 pages in, but I'm very much looking forward to reading the rest of this book. And then this one comes out in June. You can see how dated this book haul is from that, but it's Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribe, and this is the finished cover. So what I understand is that this one follows a Filipino American and he is just going about his everyday life, ready to go to University of Michigan, when he finds out that his cousin has been murdered, and he discovers that his cousin was murdered in part of the president's battle against drug cartels in the Philippines. So he decides he's going to find out more about it because his family don't want to talk about it, and he goes to the Philippines and he discovers a lot more about his cousin and his role in his cousin's murder than he thought he would. That doesn't sound intriguing. I don't know what does, and I haven't read any books set in the Philippines, so that will be nice. Next up, we have An Arc of the Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews, and I will leave the actual cover here again. I won this in a giveaway on her Instagram, so you should definitely check out her bookstagram. It's colourful and beautiful. I mean, look at that. But anyway, this is her second novel, and this one follows a main character who is 15 years old and he lives with his older brother who is autistic. However, they have been abandoned by every relative they've ever known, so to get by they break into different people's houses while they are on holiday and they live there. But this one time they get caught out on it, the family come home and the main character finds themselves really caught up in enjoying being with this family and living with them, but he has some secrets and they are going to be uncovered. I mostly just want to read this one because it's by C.G. Drews. I have followed Paper Fury, which is her blog and her bookstagram, for ages now, and I really want to see her writing and support her as an author, so I cannot wait to read this one. Now, the next book I have to show you was a lovely gift from my friend Rishi from the Bookworm Diaries, and she gifted me The Body of the Library by Agatha Christie. If you know me, I love Agatha Christie because she's basically the best crime fiction you can get, and this one is the third Miss Marple mystery. I think the title is pretty self-explanatory. Somebody has been murdered and their body has been left in the library, and it's up to Miss Marple to find out who done it. Again, showing how dated this is, in my Owls Readathon vlog I went to a book event which was hosted by the wonderful publishers Hotkey Books, and we went to hear Robert Muchmore talk about his latest releases. The one that the event was really about was Arctic Zoo. However, they also gifted us a copy of Killity, which is his novel that published just before this one is going to publish in July. So let's talk about Arctic Zoo first. So Arctic Zoo is a contemporary social movement kind of novel. So it follows these 2 main characters who are thrust into the limelight, and they live in very different worlds. We've got one main character who is a Nigerian who lives in Nigeria, a black main character, and we've also got this girl who does drone racing in the US, and she's 14, and they both kind of are thrust into the limelight. And it's a book about protest, about sexuality, a book about flawed leadership, and it just sounds really, really interesting. I don't really understand that much about the book from the synopsis, but I think it's supposed to be mysterious that way. It also draws from Robert Muchamore's own experiences of being in a private psychiatric hospital for 3 months, so it's going to have a bit of an own voices feel to it. And then his other novel they gave us was Killer Tea by Robert Muchamore, and this sounds right up my alley because it is science fiction. So this one is set in this world where gene editing is pretty easy to do and it's quite cheap and everybody can do it. However, when this power is in the wrong hands, it can lead to bad things. So these terrorists design this gene infection or like disease called Killer Tea, and it can pretty much kill everyone. It's a plague, and they only say that they'll release the vaccine if they receive $1 billion, and that's kind of what this one is about. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I did read Robert Muchamore when I was younger. I read Recruit series and I did enjoy it, but I haven't read any of his books recently, so I can't wait to try some of his new stuff. Then when my parents were here in England, we went to Stratford-upon-Avon, and that was really nice because we went to things like a butterfly farm, and we also went to the school where Shakespeare went, and we saw Shakespeare's grave. And as someone, like, if you have been on this channel for a while, you know I am a huge Shakespeare fangirl. So while we were there, my mom was the best and got me the complete works of William Shakespeare. So in my second year of uni, I studied Shakespeare and I did a module on him. However, for that module I borrowed my sister's complete collection, which is like a floppy one, and it was like not mine, so I returned it to her. But I love Shakespeare, so I wanted my own, and she got me this beautiful Barnes and Noble edition, leather bound. Oh my goodness, it is just beautiful. So, you know, what is this one about? It's all of Shakespeare's plays and poetry and sonnets all in one massive collection. I've read half of all of his plays now, and I am very much on my way to reading through all his plays and then all his poetry and then all his works. So then the next 3 books I have to show you were sent to me by Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. So I watched her channel, and on her channel she was having an unhaul, and she lives in the UK, and she said, if you want any of these books, and just for free basically, just let me know and I'll send them to you. So thank you very much, Chloe, for sending me these books. And the first of the 3 that I got was The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I actually wasn't gonna buy this book. I haven't read everything, and I had no interest in reading everything, but I was intrigued by The Sun Is Also a Star because there is a Jamaican main character, and I thought, you know, I don't want to spend full price money, but if it was, you know, being unhauled and given to me, I'll happily read it and watch the movie afterwards. So The Sun Is Also a Star is a book that takes place in a single day, and it follows these 2 main characters, one of which is a girl who is being deported back to Jamaica within 12 hours, and she meets this boy. I don't know where they are, but they meet each other and they kind of have an instant moment of falling in love. Yes, basically insta love. It tells you it's going to happen, but okay. And it's a book about destiny, romance, and I think it goes into some of the things about deportation as well, which is an interesting topic to me, so I thought, why not give it a go? Then she also had The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I thought I already had this book, but I actually didn't. So this is a thriller one, and it follows this girl who's always going on the same train, and she looks out of the train window and she always sees the same house, and she sees the same 2 people in the house. She kind of feels like she knows them, even though she doesn't really. But one time when she looks into the window, she sees something that's very, very shocking, and it's her chance to get involved in these people's lives. That doesn't really tell you much, but that's the best way to read thrillers, I think, not knowing much, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. I haven't seen the movie because I am a big, you know, read the book before movie person, so let's read this one, find out what it's like, and then go and see the movie. And lastly from Chloe, I got Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. I read Silver Linings Playbook like way back, and I absolutely adore that book, so I of course want to read more by Matthew Quick. Again, this is another one that takes place within a single day. It's about this boy, Leonard Peacock, who has decided that he is going to kill his former best friend and then kill himself. So he's got a pistol in his backpack and he's just going about his day. But before he does all of that, he wants to say goodbye to 4 people in particular, and as he does this he kind of reveals his secrets and why he is going to be doing what he's going to be doing that day. It sounds interesting. It sounds intense. That's what I'm going to say. It sounds intense. It sounds very, very different from Silver Linings Playbook, but I am here for it because it's Matthew Quick and I need to read more of his books. And lastly, I did a book swap, my very first book swap, with the lovely Relaxation from Bookstagram, and I'll leave a link to her Bookstagram down below. So I was unhauling my double copies of Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Like, I didn't unhaul the books, like I've got 2 copies of each one. So she hadn't read the Hunger Games series, so I sent her that, and in return she sent me something that she'd read that was on my wish list, and that is Blindness by Jose Saramago. I'm gonna say that so wrong, but this one is by a Nobel award-winning author, and it is just supposed to be really good. And when I hauled it in on my Insta story, everybody was like, guys, this is a really good book, you should really enjoy reading it. So I'm very, very much looking forward to it. This one follows this city which has been struck by white blindness, which is almost like a plague where everybody goes blind, and all these blind people have been herded into this hospital, this abandoned mental health hospital. But there are 3 characters: a boy with no parent, a girl with dark sunglasses, and a dog with tears, who are kind of escaping and going about their world outside of being herded away because of the white blindness. And it's really not telling you much from the synopsis, but I looked at reviews on Goodreads and everybody specifically doesn't tell you much on purpose, and they say it's really dark and grim and emotional, and all of that sounds pretty great to me. So there you have it. Those are the 12 new books I've recently acquired. Please let me know in the comment section down below latest book you bought, received or acquired, and I'll see you in the next one. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button to see more, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Michigan experiences of being in a psychiatrist. Oh man.